Hi, everyone. Welcome to DomainSherpa, and thank you for tuning in to the podcast with the best domain name and digital asset content in the world. Today's episode is a DomainSherpa review titled Animal House, featuring Braden, Josh, and Drew. On today's show, we play the domain game featuring Porpoise.com, Fuse.com, and Vida.org. And then we've got the NameJetGonnaJet segment, sponsored by NameJet, and we talk about some domains coming up for auction, including Sleeps.com, Nutmeg.org, and ItalianPizza.com. And we further compare PacificEnergy.com, DeltaEnergy.com, and InternationalEnergy.com to see which energy name the Sherpas like the best. And we also talk about Braden's huge sale of Odyssey.com, and using Braden's investment in domains since 2021 as sort of a benchmark, we talk about what can provide a better return on investment between Bitcoin and domains. And we also talk about .ai domains, Braden's relatively recent .net sales. We also talk more about the velocity of money topic that we got into last week. And Drew spends some of the show listing and talking about his B-Team animal domains and a recent issue he had with the .at registry. All that and more is coming up on today's show. And remember, if you're listening to the audio version of this podcast, you can also watch the video version at DomainSherpa.com and on our YouTube channel at ds.tv. You can also listen to the shows on Apple and Spotify and other podcast platforms as well. So please make sure to hit the like button and the subscribe button and all that good stuff everywhere that you can and help Domain Sherpa grow the pie. We also integrate our shows with Muse.ai, which provides search functionality for the shows and transcripts as well. And a huge shout out to DNWE, short for Domain Name Wholesale Exchange. It's a trading platform designed specifically for domain investors, streamlining the process of buying and selling domain names to make it quicker and easier. With a community of over 3,500 investors, DNWE enhances market liquidity, facilitating more efficient transactions with standard domain listings, reverse auctions, standard auctions, and soon to be added portfolio auctions, including traffic portfolios. DNWE is part of EW3N, a family-run digital asset investment company based in London, England, that also operates DomainManage.com, which is a global sales platform, and Brandable.uk, a marketplace for UK and Co.uk domain names. And also, huge shout out to Unstoppable Domains, the only ICANN accredited registrar that lets you trade DNS domains on-chain and access crypto investors. With 3% commissions, at-cost renewals, and hundreds of resellers soon to be integrated, they're a cutting-edge marketplace you need to know about and use to get more sales and keep your costs down. Unstoppable can save you thousands in registration costs. They have $5 .com Fridays and $1 .xyz's Wednesdays every week, and $5 off all transfers in, no promo code required. And last but certainly not least, huge shout out to our own business, MediaOptions, the #1 domain brokerage in the world. 7 years in a row, listed Domain Broker of the Year by escrow.com. Find out more at MediaOptions.com, where you can also sign up for our newsletter for the best domain opportunities available in the market every week, and also featuring key insights and other helpful information related to branding, naming, and domain investing. So with that, it's now time to get into this episode of Domain Sherpa, where all roads lead to domains. What's up, Sherpa Network? Thank you for tuning in today. My name is Jonathan Tenenbaum, a.k.a. JT, a.k.a. J-On, a.k.a. Sherpa Winfrey, and I'm the host and producer of Domain Sherpa, where all roads lead to domains. Today's show is a Domain Sherpa review, getting into the minds of successful domain investors using real examples to learn strategies and tactics to become more successful domain name investors ourselves. These are the experts, the OGs, the best in the biz, my friends. They're more like co-hosts than guests. I don't know if they would say that, but that's what I say. That's what I tell all my other fake sort of friends, and it's all good. So we got 4 segments to a Domain Sherpa review. We got the grand opening. That's where we are right now. That's where I intro the Sherpas. We see what's going on with them. We talk about some related things, some unrelated things, some AKAs, Then we get into the domain game. That's where we're here with the Sherpas recently bought or sold. Everybody guesses. We keep score, and eventually, somehow, some way, someday, get some swag to the winner. Josh, I got that extra large hoodie. It's sitting in my closet, man. Anytime you want to come over and grab that, man. Then we got segment 3, which is NameJetGonnaJet. We'll review a list of domains coming up for auction on NameJet, see what the Sherpas like, what they don't like. And then last but not least, we got GrandClosing. That's where we'll discuss anything we haven't covered already, what's going on in the domain space, looking at the market trends, current events, and allowing our guests to mention and promote anything they want to talk about that we have not already discussed. With that, let's go ahead and introduce the Sherpas over to my right. I got my boy Andrew Rosner, a.k.a. Morpheus, a.k.a. the Dirk Diggler of digital assets, a.k.a. Bob Lee Swagger, the sniper, a.k.a. Drew. Drew got what I need, a.k.a. every Rosner has its thorn, a.k.a. never going to give Drew up. Get Rick Roll, Graybeard, the domain pirate in the house. 6 rings, 7 crowns. What's going on, man? How are you?
Talking about 7-7. You could triple
You're right. You're
seven.
right. It's 7 rings, 7 crowns. I don't know,
Yeah,
but it just
7
kind of flowed a little
years.
better to make it like, you know.
Triple
But two
seven.
plaques. But only 2 plaques. Why is there only 2 plaques behind you?
2 plaques,
Well, I
6
just
rings,
brought it
7
up actually
crowns.
with my my sort of my guy that does all this shit around the house for me, and said, look, I think we gotta create a more dominant wall behind me. You know what I mean? I need all the plaques.
I think a nice clean row of 7 plaques right behind you.
That's what I'm
I think it'd be
thinking.
cool. You can or set them up like kind of like a a little bit of an arc, kind of like they'll make it like a Game of Thrones, like
I can't reach the other ones there because I've got you don't even want to know what my office looks like at the moment. But
you can do like an
when he
like an
stood up, I
iron
was like,
throne.
when he stood up, I was like, he's not gonna be wearing pants right now.
That's why you told him to get up. But the you could do it like the Iron Throne, man. You know what I'm saying? Have that shit like have them like sort of cascade in an arc behind you. You know what I'm saying? Be something really, really cool and elaborate. So
Yeah.
I don't know, man. Tell you got to get on it, man. Tell them let's get cracking.
Yeah. I would have done
Yeah.
that back when I cared.
Back when we've got nihilistic Drew. You know what I'm saying? That's where we're at now. We got nihilist, you know, like I just want to feel something. But man, it's all right, dude. It's all right. You know, better days ahead, man. You know what I'm saying?
That's the thing. That's actually the problem. It's not bad days. It's actually everything's quite good. But even so, I'm like, yeah.
That's what happens. You reach a certain point, man. You reach a certain pinnacle. You know what I'm saying? The air is thin up there, bruh. You know, even the good days, man. It's like, you're just like, I gotta feel something. But hey, you know what? You're gonna feel something. We're gonna talk domains today here on the show. It's gonna feel good. And that's what's up. So, all right, let's
go. Keep it moving.
Keep it moving. To my lower right, we got my boy Josh Reason, aka Bjorn Borg, aka Prince Harry, aka Harry Kane, aka Prince Harry Kane, aka Slim Shady, aka DNX. It's dark and hell is hot. X gonna give it to you. Stop, drop, shut them down, open up shop.
You to you.
Mr. Pickle, what up, dog?
What's up? Good to be here.
Oh, that was brief.
He's like, that's it. We're all on that tip. Let's see what Braden's gonna give us today. You know what I'm saying? And he hasn't been on the show for a couple of weeks, man. We're counting on him to bring it home. You know, below me, we got the one and only Braden Pollock, aka Tony Stark, aka Benjamin Button, aka Eat Bray Love, aka Braden Statham, aka Braden Pollockton, the Archduke of Calabasas and Viscount of Woodland Hills. It's not that your domain is worthless. It's just that it's worth less. Bitch. What's up, man? You guys, man. Yeah. Hey, look, I feel you, man. It's like I don't even know. I don't even know what the vibe is right now. You know, we got the 7
I want to
crowns.
know. I want to know about.
Yeah.
I want to know about Odyssey.com. I mean, there's been a lot of big sales happen. We made a lot of big sales. Bunch of people making a lot of big sales right now. But to me, Odyssey.com, for the price I suspect you sold it for, is a banger of a
Well,
sale.
time out. So time out. Is that one you can disclose? Will you do it? You're gonna drop it on? You were gonna use it on the domain game. That's all I want to know. If we're gonna talk about it now, were you gonna talk about it on?
This mofo said it was the best domain sale he's ever made. So
I said biggest. I think he said biggest. I don't even think he said best. Best is subjective. Biggest is quantifiable. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's by far the highest dollar domain
Woo,
I've ever sold.
Let's go.
And I cannot disclose. I pushed back. I tried, but they said no.
Right.
What are you going to do?
I love the name.
You're going to take that money and say, okay.
Yeah, exactly right.
You're going to buy an ice cream, put a cherry on top.
I said, yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Exactly. Yes, sir. Hey, so talk to me about then. So you can't disclose the buyer or any of that kind of stuff. Is it resolving yet? I mean, there's the Odyssey movie is coming out, but I would assume that they're.
I don't think movie is paying that.
I
don't buy names. Come on.
No,
that was the point I was just making, man. Fucking know-it-alls. No, all right. Yeah, it's just still showing that it's still showing Hilco. All right, so anything.
So pre-game, before we get into the obviously I can't use it in the game if you can't disclose the price, but what did you pay for it?
I guess I could Should I disclose that? I paid
Give us a range, whatever you feel comfortable, man. We're not trying to put you.
Yeah, we're not trying to blow anything up here.
I paid over 300 for it.
Oh wow.
Oh, okay. All right. So you paid real money.
Yeah. I think it was 340.
And how long ago did you buy it?
I'm gonna look it up now. I think it was.
You know-
I bought it in November of 21.
All right.
I paid 340.
So
I mean,
last night, I was outside doing my meditation, and
Jubilation.
meditation. And I was thinking to myself, there was a period of time, probably around 2020, 2021, when I basically stopped buying domains. It was right around the time that JT joined. And I said, you know what? New plan. No more domain buying. All proceeds get rolled into Bitcoin. And we're gonna see how that, that's the new thing. We got enough domains, we'll never sell them all. Let's go with that. And what I was contemplating last night in my meditation is that I opened the door for you and Brent and a few others to kind of take over as the dominant buyers in the market. And you guys paid higher prices than I would have probably been willing to pay for a lot of these names. But you guys picked up a lot of very valuable domains that, and obviously I'm a competitive fuck. So I get some, some feelings about that. And not that I'm not obviously ecstatically happy for you to crush it, but I'm a competitor, so I think about, fuck, I could have bought these names. Blah, blah, blah. Anyway, so I was thinking to myself, I wonder which would have outperformed, and I do think that the Bitcoin outperformed, but it's more of a reflection on beyond just the actual performance of the names of blah blah blah. Is just that was a moment when I made a conscious decision to sort of stop buying names and just saying yes basically to every major domain that would come across my desk. It did change my role, and I don't know that I necessarily fully processed that until last night.
Well, so the question is, you took that money and you bought Bitcoin. And how well has the Bitcoin done since 21?
Very well.
Right. So I can tell you that I spent, since I have the sheet up here, 20%. I spent $6.57 million, almost $6.8 million in 21.
And since 2021?
No, in 21.
Oh, in 21. Okay.
Yeah.
Damn.
And then in 22, I spent another 2.2. And I usually, since then, I've spent about 2 million a year. 23, actually less, 1.4 and 23.
All right. So let's say you've got 12 million into the names in those 4 years. What do you think you've got in total sales?
I've got more than that.
More than 12.
Yeah.
But you also still have most of the names that you bought.
Most of the names, sure.
Yeah.
So
let's say that
the tough calculation.
Let's say
so
Bitcoin roughly 3x, right, in that period of time. What do you think the timeline is to get 36 million in sales?
I would say by
another 4 years.
No, because the sales velocity. I mean, I've done more this month than I've done the last 2 years in sales. Just because bigger sales have come around, because I've been buying those bigger names, and so they're finally starting to move.
Yeah.
I've had like 4 7-figure sales this month. Obviously,
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. it took you 4 years to get to 12. It would probably take you 4 years to double that. More than double that, sorry, triple that, because of the sales velocity. So instead of 4 years taking you 24, it's probably more like 4 years going to get you to 36.
Yeah, I
Yeah, I
guess
mean,
that's somewhat logical if he's continuing to buy the same.
Well, that's just assuming that you'll
name.
break even right now, 4 years in.
Yeah,
Which
but I
is,
mean,
no, which
I'm
is.
at 8 figures in sales already this year. So, you know, that
Oh.
will continue. I don't see that slowing down. There's inquiries. There's a lot of momentum. So, you know, I don't know what I'll end up at this year, you know, 15 million. I don't know. And then next year, you know, I could have 20 million in sales just because these names have been worked on and there's, you know, sales velocity that builds up from all those purchases.
Yeah.
It's a super interesting.
Man. I mean, that's, you know, you built a hell of a portfolio and it's paying off.
Yeah.
And, you know, obviously most of the people that are watching this probably can't buy $6 million of domains a year, but it's you know, it's what I've always said. If you pay up for great names, you get great sales. You know, the money's made on the buy, and it's not because you necessarily bought it so cheap. It's because you bought it, right?
Yeah.
You're buying one-on-one assets. You know, a name like Odyssey, there's no plan B. There's no second best domain. It's Odyssey.com is Odyssey.com. There's no plan B. There is no second best, as Michael Saylor likes to say. So, you know, you set the price but I want to know, why did you have the audacity to even price that name so high? I wouldn't have priced that name so high.
Where would you price the name?
Odyssey.com, I would have probably priced in the 1.5 to 2.5 range. What gave you the indication to price it so high? I'm just curious.
Such a good name. Look, it's a little bit difficult to spell it, but
That's it. That's for me. That's why it's not. That's why I wouldn't have moved it up to that echelon.
it's just such an amazing name. I mean, the meaning, you know, there's a lot of companies that use it. It's just a very good name. And there's a lot, you know, what can I tell you? You know, why did Slav ask 10 million for connect.com? Because I don't know. I wouldn't have.
Yeah.
I would have been low sevens for connect.com.
Yeah. Yeah. Me too.
So, you know, I based it partially on, you know, what I paid. And I just thought it was worth it. And I had several offers on it that were 7 figures. And so I stuck to
You think they all came from the same buyer?
No.
Yeah. Well, I think it's pretty awesome. You know, a couple of things, obviously some really good nuggets there. Like to Drew's point, not everybody can, you know, sort of relate at that level, but you know, I do think you see a lot of the same.
I've had people ask me,
can I bring up a relevant point here? How do you price Pegasus.com, Drew? Because I put that very similar category to Odyssey in the fact.
Yeah. Except Pegasus has more known, publicly known end users, and it's easier to spell. But yes, I agree. It's more or less in that same directionally the same. I would have priced Pegasus even less than what I suspect he sold Odyssey for. I have generally quoted around 5 million for Pegasus.com. I will now increase that.
Price of a brick going up.
Price of a brick going up. I think, you know, look, there are huge companies around Pegasus, and I think they're gonna just have to pay because, you know,
well, it's just such a it's one of those
I gotta get paid.
Well, but it's also one of those names, right? It's like you got instinctively, it's just an awesome domain name, you know. Any of these names that have this positive connotation, it's like sky's the limit. Literally, is a flying horse.
Yeah.
You know, saying to the moon. You know, Odyssey, same kind of deal. It's very cool. It's very like, you know, I was you know, saying the movie, the book, the whole thing, but all the companies that use it, like there's just it's in the lexicon. It just means a lot of stuff. It's got a positive overall, you know, the journey, the Odyssey, it's all cool.
There's a lot of companies that have got billions of dollars in like assets or unicorn valuations called Odyssey. Numerous.
Yeah.
So it is I would say that Pegasus and Odyssey, if I were looking at them, I would put them in a very, very similar category.
Go. Olive. Yeah. Well, but look, this was great. I appreciate you sharing, Braden. I
Yeah,
think this is an
totally.
interesting, and I love the talk
I
around.
just, look, there's a lot of great sales, but if I see, chat.com sells for $15 million, that doesn't shock me. That's an amazing sale. It's not to detract from that sale at all. That's just not a shocking sale. That's like, okay, that's great. The name got what it's worth.
Yeah.
It's a great sale. But when I see Odyssey sell for a big number, what I suspect is a big number, I am like, wow, that is a fucking somebody really just, somebody caught, they caught that pitch just right, because I think that's a great sale. It's not to say that not to say that somebody overpaid. It's not to say that somebody was crazy, but that's, you're knocking, you're
Knocking it out the park. Well, and I
getting
think it's also
bet
very
all of
interesting.
it.
Yeah, and I really think it's also a very interesting analysis to kind of think about, opportunity cost, alternate, uses of the funds, Bitcoin versus domains, that return.
But
I think that's
look, I think at the end of the day, from a business perspective today, I think that the math you're talking about comes into play 2-3 years from now, when people start really actually taking into account the opportunity cost of capital. And what am I going to do? Am I going to produce XYZ widget, or am I going to literally just buy Bitcoin? I think that math starts coming into play 3 years from now, maybe 5. But today, I don't think that math, I think there's very few people that are doing that math. I think today people are looking at the landscape and they're saying, look, I'm going to go building this new business. In a world of AI, domain names, my brand, the trust implied through that are truly the only thing that I can do to differentiate my business, create a moat, and defend against anybody else that wants to just replicate what I'm doing. I just saw a website builder. I was listening to the podcast. There's a website builder now that you literally just say, I want to build a copy of freaking YouTube, and that's it. Done. Like, the fucking take Pegasus.com and create a new YouTube. And it's like, oh, yes, sir, Andrew. Done. And you got a fucking copy of YouTube. I mean, like, this whole concept of engineering and programming, this shit. Look, I don't even know. I'm the furthest thing from an expert. I'm like I feel pretty much retarded, if I'm being honest, in this whole AI thing. But I
Same.
literally am certain that in 18 months or less, the idea of like, we have a competitive advantage because we've got great programmers. Like, you don't have shit. You got a basket of apples is what you got. Like, your brand, the trust, your domain. This is the only thing I can think of, other than like, I've got a monopoly because I've got some government mandated contract, or I've got some kind of, let's say, unfair advantage that is, let's say, extraordinary. I don't think you can go build a SaaS business and have some shit domain or shit brand, because somebody else will build the exact same business with a better brand and eat your cake. That's it. End of story. Like, so I think that brand really, truly, truly, truly is going to become increasingly more dominant, more important, and therefore more valuable. And at the same time, that the importance of the domain and the value of the domain is going up, you also are going to face a constriction of costs for these companies. Like, the SaaS business that used to have, let's say, 100 employees, probably only needs 10, maybe 20. And so now a huge part of your CapEx just goes away, because you don't have all those extra employees, and you don't have all the extra bullshit, all the extra, ancillary services that you used to have. All that goes away. And so where does that investment go? Well, I would say that over time, it doesn't happen with the snap of your fingers, but over time, that value accrues to the domain and the brand. Value always accrues to the utility, right? And so where is the utility? Well, all that trust that you used to build through all this erroneous bullshit, marketing and engineering and all this stuff. Well, that again becomes commodity. And so, value accrues away from that. Cost essentially goes to zero. The engineering, the marketing, the brand assets, all this stuff basically becomes a commodity. Cost goes to zero, and value accrues to, I think, brand. So you have those two things happening at the same time. The cost of running these businesses goes down. The value of having that trust and that brand goes up. And that should mean higher value domain sales. And I think Odyssey is a great example. I don't know what do they do? Do you know?
No idea.
Yeah,
It's a new brand, a new company.
Okay.
But I thought you missed an opportunity there, Drew.
But you gotta have some heavy hitters. If you're a brand new company still in stealth and you're coming out the gate and you're like, we're swinging for the fences, then God bless. But you got to have some serious heavy hitters behind you.
Well, I think you missed an opportunity when you said, you basically have a basket of apples, and then you said if you don't have a good domain name, they'll eat your cake. You really should have said they'll eat your apples. You know what I'm saying? And then you could have said how you like them apples. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I think everything you're saying is spot on. It's really interesting. The wave around domains seems very positive, seems very bullish. I think the idea of AI replacing domains, it's more about really creates more opportunity around domains. I think that another, real quick, you mentioned, not everybody has the ability to spend that kind of money on names. Your thesis always, hey, pay up for domains. You buy great domains, you'll ultimately see great sales. I feel like James, Andy Booth subscribe to that and have had a lot of success with that. I think they're having success around the .ai domains, which I think is a whole nother interesting thing. All kind of in this.
We hit the top if JT's saying it's interesting. He's like, yo, you know what? This AI domain thing.
I'm just saying .ai. I see the sales coming through. You and I talk about this almost every day.
The sales coming through. I love it. He'll say, you and I have talked about this as if to imply that I somehow agree.
No. It's me every day being like, hey, did you see this? And you're like, shut up.
He talked about this. I think it's an important point. Okay. To this day, everybody's still getting excited, including my buddy Josh over here. Oh, .ai domain, so exciting. What an opportunity. And they're like, oh, shit's going to keep continuing. And I'm just like, what is going to continue? Like, there's 5 people that own the vast majority of the good ones, and they each sell 5 to 10 domains a week. And you telling me that that's like a movement? Like, I don't get it. So like Braden sold last week more domains, more value in one.com than the entirety of all AI domain names that were sold in the last 12 months. I sold last week more value in domain names than all the .ai domain names that were sold in the last 12 months. And so my point is that it's not to say that .ai is bad. That's the thing everybody misses. Everybody's like, I'm Team AI, fuck this dot. I don't give a shit. Okay? .ai is fine. Okay? It's like a donkey versus a horse. Each thing's got its purpose. But the thing is that there's a fucking ocean of people interested in buying .com domain names and a flood of people buying .com domain names. And there's a little stream over here. And again, if you got your fishing net in that stream and you got upstream, you did well. But it's not to say that there's like a whole opportunity. Listen, go send the neighborhood to the stream and watch how fucking quickly there's nothing left. There's nothing there. It's not big enough. It's everybody's trying to nibble at a cookie. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to eat the pie. I want fucking birthday cake.
Okay, tell them.
All right, let me say something because I heard my name get thrown in there at one point.
Let's go.
And no,
defend your cookie.
No, man. I mean, if you follow me, you would see that I've called out multiple times that there are like 4 to 5 people that own all the best .ais. I've also said that they're the ones that are reporting all the sales. I've also said that when you see like someone like James reporting all of his sales, it's because he owns like 50% of the .ais that are on the platform. Like it's not actually 50, but it's literally high. I definitely like I'm very, very open about all of that. Having said that, it's like, yes, there's certainly a lot of startups that are spending money on .ai domains, but does that mean that it's, anything close to, .com? No, of course not.
So that's all my point is that like I don't understand why people are getting obsessed about going and trying to
Because that's what new domainers
There's
do.
a much bigger ocean to fish in.
So like,
Why are you trying to fish in the puddle? This is the ocean.
because everyone that gets into the industry wants to
Everybody wants to get rich quick. That's what they want.
They want to
Give me the pill that makes me healthy. Give me the fucking
feel like they have an
one thing I can do
opportunity.
that'll make me a billionaire.
Yeah,
That's what everybody wants. And if
Exactly.
that's what you want, you're destined for failure.
Exactly.
You need to just do the work. Do the work.
You're
There's
right.
a huge ocean of opportunity in .com domain names.
Well, there is, and by the way, on the topic of Bitcoin versus domains and all that kind of thing, as someone that is not quite as well off as you and Braden, I do have to make more conscious decisions about whether I want to put money in domains or whether I want to put money in Bitcoin. And I actually wrote a post about this yesterday. And the reason why I wrote that post is because this year I made a decision that I was going to spend more money on domains again, which meant that I had to pull out Bitcoin. And, it's actually a really difficult decision to make because, you pull out the Bitcoin and you're like, fuck, you better not like shoot up to 200K because I'm going to be pissed. Right. But you have to unless you have loads of money, you have to make a decision.
Yes. And listen, that's the stupidest thing you've ever said. The more money you've got, the more important that decision becomes. But
well, I think it depends. That depends.
Well, I can tell you. I mean, it
depends on what your goals are.
Maybe a really important thing. I mean, we've talked about it before, but like capital allocation, this is a super important thing for everybody that watches this show. In fact, this is an important thing for everybody in the world. It's just that most people don't know or care that it's important. But yeah, I think you had terrible timing. This would have been the year to keep the Bitcoin, go light on the domains, and then flip, next year. But
TBD, we should circle back because I sold it,
baby.
Sold it at 100. So,
well, she did fine. It's not like you missed the up move. You probably, let's say on the basis of probabilities, you probably caught, let's say, 60% of the up move. That's fine.
I'm okay with that. Well, the thing about
you get 60% of the up move and still get great domains that you can then flip for a good margin. Like, that's great. I think that's exactly right.
And it's our profession, right? We back ourselves to be able to perform better than the average. While Bitcoin, we just have to go with the flow.
That's it. But sometimes it's better just, swim with the tide. You know what I mean? Like,
sure. No, for sure. That's why there's a decision to be made sometimes.
That's it.
I want to weigh in on the AI discussion.
Talk to me.
I'm going to agree with both of you. I think if we like pan out and take a 30,000 foot view, I think AI is a bit of a bubble. That said, I know a lot of like corporate acquisition brokers that are buying big AIs for big companies, stealth, and they're paying a lot of money for it. Whether or not they're using it, I don't know. I think it's a little bit of a defensive move.
100%.
So there's that component. There's all these new AI companies that are coming out and they're buying AIs. But I think it reminds me of back in the day.
Be careful with that part though, because I don't believe, and I could be wrong, but most of these companies they're new AI companies, they're not AI companies. They're just SaaS or software companies.
Let me finish. Yeah.
They're using AI, right?
Let me finish my thought. So I think a lot of these companies are just going to die because ChatGPT is going to offer the same service that these AIs are focused on, and so they're just going to go away. But what I was going to say is, it reminds me of when the internet became a thing, and Long Island Iced Tea added .com, and their share price went up because they were a .com. And after a while, it was like, well, of course, everybody's on. If you're in business, you are online, right? So you don't need to be .com in your, in your corporate name. You are online. So you could just be whatever your name is. You don't have to append it with .com. And I think while eventually every company's going to use AI. Like if you're in business, you're going to use AI. So you don't have to call out, hey, we use AI. And so I think there's a bubble from that perspective. Now, that said, there's a lot of acquisitions happening. And I think there's still some momentum left in this market, but you don't want to be left holding the bag. I do have some AIs. I have 21 AIs. I've sold a couple. I have 21 out of I have 1,600 some odd names. So it's not very many. And they're all pretty good. And mostly they're ones that Andy Booth told me to buy. Because he's very good at it. So that's it. I'm not super bullish on it, but this is what we do. And if there is a trend happening, I'm going to jump in, dip my toe in a little bit, but I'm not going all in. I'm still focused on oneword.coms because it's the least speculative part of the market.
Agreed.
Mic drop.
Boom. I like it, man.
And most of these people talking about .ai are actually the same thing. It's like I have 100 .ais, but I have 6,000 domains. So again, it's just a little drop in the portfolio.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. All right. So moving on. Let's go. Let's do a little. What do we got? Domain game.
Let's do a little domain game. I like it. So Drew, we'll start with you. You got a buy or a sell? What you got? Let's
I'll go with a buy. I'm gonna love having these guys tell me how I, how
overpaid. All right. Well, then go ahead and tell us what it is. Is it what's the domain? And let's get to guessing. Y'all.
All right. We're gonna go with Porpoise.com. Porpoise.com.
What, Porpoise? I didn't even know this.
Porpoise.com.
Did you buy it on Porpoise? Bad jokes for
Yes, I did that on Porpoise.
Porpoise.
Porpoise.com. You bought Porpoise.com. All right.
You could say I bought it for a higher porpoise.
Ooh, okay.
Or not. You could not say that.
I added 10 grand because you said that.
Okay,
right.
You added 10 grand? Jeez.
Yeah, well, because I thought that was funny.
If I add 10 grand, I get 10 grand.
Ooh.
Oh, dude. That's messed up, man. All right, ready? 3, 2, 1. All right, so Josh is at $12,000.
Josh is gangster up in this bitch. Like, yo,
Josh doesn't give a fuck. He's like, I'm a burger all day.
Yeah, Josh. Like, yo, point in the direction of these one-word animal brands for 12 grand.
Yeah, I'm at 60,000 and
Aren't you
Braden
the
is
one
at
that's
75,000.
15 grand for sunfish.com? Like, come on now.
Come on, Josh.
All
Come
right.
on, man.
So JT wins it.
Yeah.
Thank God, because it almost actually goes to Josh. And that would have been terrible. Except it would have been I paid a very low price. But the win, I paid $37,500.
Good price.
Yeah.
Well, that's solid. I was gonna say 50.
Not a lot of end users. I don't see any material end users, but it is it's a great one word brand. It's an animal. It's an animal that everybody loves. It's a porpoise, you know what I mean? It's like the ugly red-headed stepchild of a dolphin. And I like it. The porpoise.
Porpoise, baby. For a higher porpoise. Like
higher porpoise.
I got a confession for you guys. Never heard of that in my life. Never heard of a porpoise.
You don't know what a porpoise is?
Never heard of it.
Well, it's not a dolphin.
Is it like a cross between a tortoise and a porpoise? No, honestly,
a porpoise is a dolphin. It's like a dolphin.
Man.
I mean, I know that now because I just looked it up, but I wouldn't have known if you just said it in conversation.
Well,
let's see what the
sounds like a you problem.
Well, it's
It-
because you don't speak American. That's
yeah,
That's your
this
problem.
isn't.
That's your problem.
If there's anything to go by here, you shouldn't be uncomfortable. I should be very uncomfortable because this happens a lot recently. Right, Braden, like in our private groups where I'm like, I don't know what that word is, and everyone's like, it's a common word, dude. Like,
yeah, we were just talking about something. What was that name? And I was like, dude, I'm sorry, but this is super common.
yeah. It
There's
was
some word.
was it like Lapel or something like that?
Lapel?
Lapel.
Well,
Yeah,
it's kind of
we'll
like
call
we,
it-
British person doesn't know what a lapel is? Didn't you guys invented it?
It's not about British. Not about British. It's just about educated versus uneducated. Yeah.
You were too busy studying tennis rackets.
No,
I'm
man.
looking right now. Well, it was like when we got into the thing last week about paddle versus padel and all that. No, I'd never heard of
Let's not
padel.
talk about that again.
But porpoises are pretty cool, man. I'm right now. I'm looking up the difference.
Damn right they're cool. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Look,
We had
I'm
we
all
had a
about
similar
the
conversation when
underdog.
Drew bought buzzard.com.
Hey, well, this is what I was just gonna say. I'm all about the underdog. I'm out here supporting the B team, buzzards, porpoises. You know, y'all are like, oh, we love eagles, we love dolphins. You know, it's like fuck you. I like buzzards and I like porpoises.
And you like
You know what I'm
badgers
saying?
and badges.
Yeah. We don't
Yeah,
need no
we-
stinking badges.
That's it.
Oh, that's it. I dig it, man. Look, porpoises are cool. I'm looking. You know, I'm into this.
Actually, Drew, you are. That is how I'm going to start thinking. You are like the tier 2, tier 3 animal goat. Like
That's it.
next week he's gonna be like, I just bought opossum.
I just passed on one. It was a very good B team, C team animal.
what was it?
Passed on it.
Oh,
Come on.
man.
Oh no, maybe I bought it. Did I buy it? I think I bought it.
Sunfish, dude.
I can't even remember the name. I don't even. But it is a
Yo.
cute little bugger.
I love it.
Tarsier. Yeah.
Tarsier.
Oh
Yeah,
no, yeah,
Tarsier.
it was in PDC. Yeah.
Yeah. Tarsier. These guys on my B team. You feel me?
It's a very cute little animal, but no one's ever heard of it. I had
It's
passed
the
on it.
smallest mammal in the world. Okay. So he's on my B team. I don't know what you got, but I got sunfish, porpoise, tarsier,
Tarsier's on the
honey badger.
C team. Sorry.
Well, honey badger's A team. I mean, he,
Yeah, honey
That's
badgers,
it.
come on up, man. He's
Honey Badger's
tenacious.
18.
You gotta
Honey Badger is 18, maybe.
You gotta
he's
give
A
honey
team.
badger the respect that honey badger deserves. You know.
All right,
That's
moving
it.
on.
Oh, that's it.
Oh.
100%.
But,
Tarsier, you know, it's funny. I mean, Tarsier, I didn't
Hold
even
on, I
know
gotta
what
Google
Tarsier is at the time that I saw the domain. Shout out James Booth with his sending me the garbage that Braden and Brent don't buy from me.
We all passed on it.
Yeah. But
that's
but the truth is, I truly do love animal domains, and I also somehow, you know, just don't give a shit. So I love them. I like owning these animal names. Me, you know, I don't know.
That's
We're
why
gonna,
what is this? So what's a
we're gonna launch crypto coins and with all the proceeds going to supporting these animals and turning them from B team, we're gonna take them to the A team. You feel me?
I love it.
What was the thing?
We're gonna do
Oh,
global
tarsier?
PR to make the tarsier the most popular animal in the world.
Oh, I've seen these before.
And we're
man.
gonna displace dolphins with porpoises.
These are like you can catch these and they don't make they don't make the pixel.
We're
move. You can make, like,
gonna displace the dove and replace it with the buzzard as the bird of peace globally. The symbol.
the Tertiaire, you know, like I said, that's not like a Pixar quality animal character, but you might make a DreamWorks movie. You know what I'm saying? Like
Hell yeah, with those
Madagascar,
buggy
Thor.
little eyes. This dude is fucking. He looks like an Ewok. You know what I mean? Like, I'm in.
Man, they out here.
dude, this
Yeah.
dude's on my team forever.
Dude, he looks surprised all the time.
I think we own aardvarks.com too, something like that.
Aardvark, yeah, I think
Okay,
Aardvark's
there's like 3 listeners left at this point.
dude. No,
No.
yeah, I mean, they're all
Listen,
they're all amateur
Listen,
zoologists.
of course, leave it to the vegan who doesn't give a shit about all these team animals. You know what I mean?
I love
It's
animals.
like I only give a shit about cows. Don't kill my cows, but fuck this tarsier and the porpoise.
Oh, is it Tarsier or Tertiaire? Tarsier. All right, T-A.
This guy's getting caught up in the details.
Hey,
That's what
look,
I'm saying.
B team
All right,
animals.
move on. Let's go. Moving on.
All right,
Braden's
Josh, what do you got? You got to buy or sell?
Josh's turn.
A buy.
Wait, hold on. Before we move on, Braden, what would you list? What would you list Porpoise for?
I would list it. I'd probably go in like the 350 to 450 range. Ask 450, take 350.
Yeah, that's pretty much what I had in mind. 350 to 500 type of thing.
Wait,
All
can
right,
we do Braden first?
If he's, yeah, sure. You kind of mix it up a little bit. Braden, what you got?
Do you want a singlecharacter.org or a oneword.com?
Is it a sale?
Singlecharacter.org. Singlecharacter.org.
I think I actually know though.
I'd like to.
Was it Z? Was it Z.org?
No, that was before. That was a long time ago. R.org.
Oh, R.org. Yeah.
Oh, you guys know. Okay, let's do the .com.
I don't know what the price was. I'm very curious of the price.
I think I know. That's the one thing.
Oh,
I mean, I guess we could do it and then I'll know.
Org.
No, all good, all good.
I don't know if I know. I mean, I didn't hear it from
Let's do the oneword.com, and then maybe we might need that one. Maybe we'll do Rorg or overtime if needed.
All right, it's a sale. Fuse.com. Fuse.
You.
Oh, you are killing it, man.
Oh,
Yeah.
man.
Use.
Who is this guy?
And you can disclose this one?
I can disclose it. I pulled the confidentiality out of the agreement and they signed it.
What a baller. It's even just like sliding in like little, like, just taking stuff out of the contract as well. Big 7-figure sales.
I always do it and they,
Damn.
All right, fuse.com. I think I'm low, but here we go. All right, ready? 3, 2, 1. Yeah. All right. I have 1.5 million. Drew's at $1,753,690. Josh is at $2,780,000. I thought I was low, but
Josh.
oh, bang.
Well, I was gonna go to 225,369. Would I have won?
Yes. It was 2.1. Which is less than I wanted. I was shooting
at 2.1. Are you sure Josh won?
2.7. So
no,
because I did 175,369.
Yeah, Josh was 2.7. Drew's the
Josh.
winner. Drew's the winner.
Oh, Drew won.
Josh the winner. I'm only 300 away. Josh is 400.
I thought you were below Josh.
I was, but I'm closer to 2.1 than he is.
Closer to the pin. Closer to the pin.
Okay.
He's like, I'm 175,369.
Cash and big checks, so man. I don't need.
That puts me at 300,050.
Yeah,
whatever.
Drew got the point.
Yeah. All right, my bad.
Hey, trying to steal my title and shit.
Nice.
Told you I don't do public math. Yeah, so it's less than I wanted. I actually have received. I received it when I bought it like 4 years ago or something, and I paid $400, and 5 weeks later I got an offer for 1.9. I'm going through. I since have received another $2 million offer, which I didn't take because I had so much action on it. I got another couple of offers at $1 million, and this one came through at 2.1. And I was like, we were back and forth. They started much lower, and eventually I just decided it was all cash deal, actually crypto. So pull the trigger, paid, done.
Did that come through Adam? Did that come through an email? Where does that come from?
No, that was outbound by Hilco.
Okay.
And it was a company. I can't remember the details because I've got a bunch of deals in the works, but they closed it and worked pretty hard on that one and got it done.
That's awesome. And so 4-year hold. So you kind of bought it basically in that window that we were talking about, right? Pretty much 21, 22. Is that what it sounds like?
That was, let me see if it was in 21. Yeah, I bought that.
By the way, just to
May of 21. What's that?
No, I was just gonna, inform the public about a few other members of my B team animal squad.
No, we moved on from that.
We got Black Bear,
No.
Black Bear, Timberwolf, Blowfish.
Black Bear is great.
Black Bear is great.
Yeah, that's a great domain.
AT, get a
I don't know
hold
if
of it.
it's-
Just to
I
be
don't know if
clear,
it's
Black Bear might be 18.
Yeah. Black Bear is pretty solid. I guess you could
You're
say
talking
bear.
about use.com and now you're shifting to Black Bear.
I'm
Yeah,
trying to
look, you
help.
got enough money, man. You've had enough success. You're good. We're trying to change the subject. But no, hey, I think it's awesome. I think it's really cool.
No,
Too, Brady.
amazing sale.
Well, and especially because it also it lines up with what we talked about, where you went on the offensive to acquire high value domains. It's in that window. It takes a lot to invest millions of dollars and be like, hey, maybe we'll see a return in 5 to 10 years. I mean, that's
Yeah,
it
no,
takes a
100%.
lot of conviction, and you've got to.
I mean, what I think is worth saying is that that's the new reality of the domain market. Is that if you want to play at the highest end, now it really does take a lot of capital. You got to be able to buy names for $200,000
Seriously.
to compete on those types of names. For the names that are going to sell for 7 figures without just getting dumb lucky, but selling for 7 figures because that's what they're worth, you got to be ready to lay out real capital. You know what I mean? It's not
Not easy.
the days of buying these 7-figure names for 25 to 100 grand is pretty much over.
Mm-hmm.
But congratulations, man.
Oh,
That's
by
awesome.
the way, we're gonna add one more, pangolins.com. Pangolins. We got pangolins.
That's right. They're in the B team roster.
We got pangolins on the B team. You know what I'm saying? They almost made it to the A
Also B
team.
team.
You know what I mean? We almost put the whole COVID thing on them. I mean, if they caused a global pandemic, I think that would put them on the A team, but it wasn't them. They got a bad rap. You know what I'm saying? False accusations, fake news.
Oh man, there was there was a whole trial. They were trying to put it.
Yeah, they were trying to keep a good. They were trying to keep a good pangolin down.
They were trying to pin it on the pangolins. You know what I'm saying? They're like, why you doing that to us? All right, let's go, Josh. What do you got, man? Because you got the so Drew has a point. I have a point.
Oh, Bull Terrier. We got Bull Terrier.
We'll see if Braden can get into this game and take it to overtime. What's up?
We could do a buy. It was it's about a month old, but it's a good one. It was Vida.org.
Ah, you bastard.
Oh, yeah.
I used to own Vida.org.
Did you?
Yep.
How much you sell it for?
I don't know. I still own Vida.net. And then
We sold Vida.com.
And then Vida.com, I mean, I still am an equity owner in the company that I sold Vida.com to. They're doing really well.
Yeah, so that's an interesting one. All right, so you bought it. So Drew, do you know what he bought it for already? Are you in some kind of
I just know what he said no to when I tried to buy it from him after he announced he bought it.
All right, so Vida.org.
Which was probably foolish, but that's all right. That's all right.
Vida, you bought Vida.org.
Yeah. And Drew offered me 15 grand and I said no.
Okay.
So that you have all the information and it's not
That's fair. That's
it's
good.
fair.
Get that playing field level.
All right, here we go. Ready?
Hold on, simmer down. All right.
Bless you.
Salud.
All right. 3, 2, 1, flip it. All right. Drew is at 6,369. Braden's at 8,000. I'm at $11,000.
JT nailed it.
Yes, and I won the game. Let's go. Boom.
Oh wow, you paid up 11 grand for Vida.org.
I know. So sick. Imagine, I paid up, but you offered 15.
Yeah, but listen,
that would have been good.
Wow, but I have an emotional attachment.
Got a little bit of history to it.
There's a whole history. You know what I'm saying? Vida, I've been paid many times over on Vida. I bought Vida.com. Fun facts. I bought Vida.com in a NameJet auction for 50 grand.
What?
Or 53, I think was the final price, 53.
That's crazy.
And that was a domain name that was owned by Web forever. I think it was like a NetSol name. Like I don't even remember what the original history was, but it was on my web. They'd owned it forever. I had tried to buy it. They were like, no, we're not really want to sell it. I offered them $150,000 for Vida.com. They told me to pound sand. About a year and a half later, they decided to just let it rip in a no reserve auction on NameJet. And I bought that shit for 53 grand.
That's
Then
crazy.
I turned around and I sold it to this company. I can't disclose, the details, but we got a lot of money. I got a lot of cash up front. I got a lease for a long period of time, and I got equity. Um, and then I got, whatever. And then we got a little gangster with it because they defaulted, and then but
Oh, damn.
it was a good company, good entrepreneur, Stephanie, Stelenius, great entrepreneur, great company. And so, I wasn't trying to hurt him too much, but I wanted to, you got to take a little flesh. So
What does that sell? What does that sell for today? Like 500K? Like 300 probably.
On an auction?
No, like just to like a Braden or a Brand or you or whatever.
Probably 150, 200.
More than 200 for sure.
You think?
Yeah.
Braden, what would you pay? You're the high water mark.
It's insane.
For Vida?
Yeah.
I'd have to do a little research on that one.
Little digging.
Yeah.
It's so strong. It's so I'm looking at the history here on NameBio. It sold in 2008 for 70 on NameJet.
Oh, so maybe I paid 70 then.
No, but then it sold for 53 in 2013.
Oh wow, I nailed it. 53. I knew it.
Yeah.
It's so funny. I was just talking to somebody the other day about it. I literally could meet you, and 30 seconds later, I will remember your name. I can't remember the name of people I'm even close to half the time. I can't remember. I have basically very little memory. I really don't remember much, but I can remember every little freaking detail about every domain deal I've ever done. It's insane.
I'm the same.
I don't know why. I wish I understood why that is. But I literally, I couldn't even tell you like.
It's whether it's conscious or subconscious, it's an attention thing. It's the fact that you're very, very interested in and attention to detail when it comes to domains, when maybe subconsciously you're not as interested on other people's names that you're talking to.
Vita's a banger.
Yeah,
it's insane, right?
Yeah, I'd pay 200, 250 for this name.
Yeah, and amazing name. Also, but amazing performance by me winning the domain game today. So
and nailing it on the head with 11 grand.
Yeah. Isn't it a tie game?
No. Ties are when two teams have the same score.
Don't three of us have a point?
Nope. I have 2 points. You have 1 point. Therefore, I'm the winner.
Define the word.
Therefore, I am the motherfucking winner. All right. Hey, thanks everybody for supporting me in this journey. You know what I'm saying? All right. In this Odyssey. All right. Well, how you like them apples? All right. Let's keep it moving. That was the domain game and good stuff. Great names, great, some really cool results and all that. Some good analysis and gems.
MediaOptions is the industry's leading domain broker specializing in domain acquisitions, high-value domain sales, and domain name consultation. As pioneers and thought leaders on the subject of the domain aftermarket and domain name value, plus through their clear domain acquisition service, MediaOptions offers startups and established corporations an unparalleled scope of high-value domain options, providing access to domain names and curation technologies not available elsewhere. MediaOptions believes in the power of a great domain name and is dedicated to helping you obtain yours. Call or email today to put a domain to work for you.
All right, let's keep it moving. We got the NameJetGonnaJet segment, sponsored by NameJet. We're going to review a list of domains that are heading to auction. Go to the page, the blog post episode page, if you will, for this episode. You can pull the spreadsheet. It's got some information that could be helpful. And let's see what the Sherpas like and what they don't like. Braden, it's been a minute since you've been on the show. You went I was going to say you went last on the domain game. You actually went in the middle. But why don't you start with the list? Why don't you start on the list and tell me what you like, what you don't like, and what you think?
You know, n- nothing is really. I'm not really excited about anything. Sleeps, I think, is interesting, just because the sleep industry is so huge and growing. Plural is a little weird.
Yep.
I mean, it is a word, but I could see how it could be used as a brand. So that's decent. Nutmeg.org, it's okay, not high value. But I think it's got some legs.
All right, give me one more you like, and then maybe one that you don't. One thing I think is interesting about sleeps, really quick, is when sometimes you use the word sleeps in reference to like days. You know what I mean? Like, oh well, it's 3 sleeps until blank. Vacation.
I've never
or
heard
something.
that. You made that shit up.
No, I didn't. No, it's legit.
Thank you, Braden.
No,
Thank
Josh
you.
has never heard of it.
Never heard that.
Josh
in my
hasn't
life.
heard of the word sleep. What do you mean? Let alone
It's
sleep.
like, is that like from those Shakespeare days? Like,
No, it's legit.
Sometimes
I
be
love
like,
that.
oh,
I love
hey,
it. I love it. I'll take the heat.
thou shalt awaken after 3 sleeps.
And people. So the way I think of it is like when
Four-
vacation, something you're excited about.
3
2 fortnight and 9 sleeps.
When people are excited about something coming up, they'll say, "Oh, it's 4 sleeps until blank." You know what I mean? Like that's like go to bed, wake up, go to bed, wake up, go to bed, wake up, and then you're doing whatever it is that you might be excited about. So
No, this is what the kids are saying. It's true.
yeah. It's some street slang, sleep slang. All right, continue.
Y'all tripping.
Hey, I'm the winner of the domain game. I'll make shit up now. Braden.
All right,
Got one
so
more? Maybe.
I would say I like generics.net as well. Not high value, but it's decent.
All right, I'm with it, man. I kind of included a .net on there for you. You like yourself some .nets. And so, hey, with all your selling of domains recently, right, with a lot of the success that you've had, do you see any .nets?
Would you lend me some money?
Yeah. By the way, but you're doing great. If you don't mind, you use
Dude, you
Venmo.
rip me off something?
You fuck with Zelle.
Is there a question there?
Yeah, I was saying, are you selling any .nets with your recent sales?
Let me tell you. I think there were.
Man.
Yeah,
Oh, I
this,
can't.
this year.
Remind me, Braden, remind me to tell you something off camera.
Okay. This year I sold.
Say the word cash. Just say the word cash. That's going to remind me.
Cash. Okay. The only .net I sold this year was interface.net for $12.5 on Afternic,
Yeah,
which I paid $1,100 for. But last year I sold a bunch. There was just on NamePros, there was an article, like somebody was doing a deep dive in .net sales and, whether or not it had legs. And some NamePros actually reached out to me and said, would you comment on this? So I made some comments and I listed my sales for the last couple of years, my .net sales, including sales prices. So if anybody's interested, go check that out.
Yeah, check it out. All right, cool. All right, Josh, what about you? What do you like or not like on the list?
Yeah. Do you know what's crazy about .net is that I don't buy .net, but every time I do buy one, I do sell them, which is kind of crazy.
You should definitely not buy them then.
Well, every time I'm thinking about it, I send it to you and you buy it.
Things that I have great success with.
That's true. Keep sending them to me. He's like, and hold on to it.
I've sent you some amazing ones this year. So
yes, you have.
Yeah.
And I bought. Oh no, last night I bought .org on DNX. Shout out to DNX.
Ooh, shout out DNX, baby. Let's go.
Shout out DNX.
Let's go.
Shut up.
Thanks,
down,
guys.
open up
Thanks.
shop.
You sent me touch.net recently.
Yeah.
He reached out and touched you.
Reach out and touch me.
Okay. You know what? I really like ItalianPizza.com. Like I want that name. I really want that name. So
better than
stay off it.
For example.
Yeah. I don't know. Do you think that's gonna go? Do you think that'll go high?
I don't know, but I got king snakes on my B team as well.
Dude, come on, man. What about ItalianPizza.com? Do you like it?
I'm just, you know what I mean? It was time to take an inventory of who's on the B team.
B team animals.
You know what
That's
this
really-
proves? This proves that you keep finding them. It proves that your spreadsheet is not really well organized because you should have a subcategory.
Take that up with this guy. You know what I'm saying? Like that's
No,
not
we're
my
busy.
job.
We
That's
should have-
his
we,
job.
we do have an animals
Oh,
category. We
you're
don't have a
catching
B
strays
team
now too,
animals
JT.
category. That's new. That shit didn't even show up until today on the show.
Clearly, you do not have an animal subcategory.
We do have an animals
As
category.
far as I know, I don't have anything.
Hold
I don't
on.
have any categories.
Come
I
on,
don't
man.
have nothing.
By the way, what about Italian pizza? Please stay on topic.
What do I think? No, what does he think? He's the one
Well,
talking.
so I'm more curious.
Ask
Do you
the
think
group? He said, "What do y'all think?"
because I like?
Oh, I think it's redundant. I think it's like buying .ai domain names.
Does that name sell for more than $5,000?
No, only like no. Italian pizza, like what is there an alternative? Like that's just redundant. That's like Google search.com or like I don't know, eyeglasses.com. Nobody you don't need the eye part. You know what I mean? Like in fact, eyeglasses would be 10 times better than Italian pizza. But Italian pizza, like I don't. What do you mean?
Is it redundant?
You need to say anything except pizza? Everybody knows it's Italian. I mean, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, I mean,
is
sometimes you got
redundant,
Indians
but-
or Lebanese making pizza, but it's usually,
It is
everybody
redundant,
knows it's
but
pizza.
people still say eyeglasses and tuna fish, and there's all kinds of Italian. It does seem redundant to me. Will it go for $5,000? Maybe because people overpay. Should it? No, but there is other pizza. There's Armenian pizza and Turkish pizza, which is actually the same thing. But yeah, I hear you.
Yeah, but the word pizza, it's Italian. What they got is some B team. You know what I'm saying? They got like armadillos.
Yeah, I
By
get
the
your
way,
point.
we do have an animals category in our inventory, and so we have a few others that you didn't.
Okay, so what comes up? Let's go. Let's hear about it.
Did you mention snow crab?
No. Oh, snow crab's on the B team.
KillerB.com.
Oh, he's A team.
We've got we have an absolute killer A team animal, like that's A
Dude.
plus team. We have leopard.com.
Yeah,
Le-
leopard.com is A team.
Then we've got interesting, we have octopus.org, right? So that's an A team
I
animal, but a B
love
team
that
domain,
domain.
right?
I love that domain.
We've got
I have octopuses.com.
Octopus.com is another one. It expired and it was on, I want to say it was on GoDaddy. I think Yanni ended up getting it. I missed it. That shit sold also for like $50,000. I forgot who got it. And then it sold to an end user. That was that's one of the biggest like just misses that I have. And I literally just missed the end of the auction.
But I think
Oh,
it's
yeah,
interesting
that-
because we're talking about B team, A team, like we can have an A team animal, but a B team domain, right? Like with the, sometimes the plural or the extension, kind of thing.
Yep.
But, but there's others. We've got giraffe with a J, you know what I'm saying?
Well, that's the Spanish spelling. Jirafa.
Okay. There you go. See? White
That's the
marlin.
B team spelling.
Yeah,
It is the
spelling
B
of the
team.
giraffe.
Giraffe with the J is literally the
Oh,
mascot of the B team.
it's the A team animal with the B team language.
There you go. So that's what I mean.
It's a
Giraffe
giraffe.
with the J. Giraffe. All right, go ahead. Continue, Josh.
Oh, sardines.
Yeah, white marlin, pink heron.
CodingHelp. CodingHelp's a cool name.
Okay. That's actually on. Yeah, we're talking about the list again. There we go. Good.
Oh.
Yeah. I think that name. I feel like it's gonna get bid up way too high again, though. Like if you can get that name for a couple grand, and then sell it in the 25K range, great.
Mm-hmm.
But I got a feeling that one goes into like the 5K range as well. Just too much. I don't know.
It's no CodingHelp.ai.
Is that how you spell beak, by the way?
Oh, we're brokering nocode.ai. And I'll tell you what, I thought that would be a slam dunk. But, really, it's all about branding. Nobody's on generics these days, like unless you're going to use it as a brand. All these no-code platforms are all like, yeah, we pay $10,000, $20,000.
Well, AIcoding.com is $14,000. You can buy it. So, I mean, yeah.
But nobody says that. People say no code.
Well,
Now they say vibe code.
zero code.
Yeah, vibe coding. Yeah. So All right. Well, that's what's up. All right, cool. All right. Well, give us one more and then we'll pass the list to Drew.
Beak.com is a cool brandable. Doesn't mean
and that-
anything. Right?
Yeah, no, that's not the way you spell beak, Josh.
Right. But that's why I said it. That's why I said it.
No, I know. That's a
doesn't
fair
mean
question. Yeah.
That's
interesting.
But it's still cool. It's still a cool brandable, right?
I think it's cool. How do you spell beaker that you would use in like a
Yeah, that's how you spell it.
okay, so it's the short version of beaker. I don't know, that's kind of
Yeah, I don't know what it means, but
yeah.
beak. I like it because it's it definitely can be a brand. You can make it visually attractive, but yeah.
Okay, there's a brand beak that does sandals and shoes. There is it's warm means to bask. There is
That's the type of name that you put on Atom, and Atom like gets you a really good buyer for like $100,000.
I'm with it. So how much is it going to cost in the NameJet auction?
It's going to cost $7,000.
We shall see.
For beak, probably about right. Yeah.
All right, Drew. What about you? What do you like or don't like?
I like Amalo.com a lot. That's just one of those sexy little 5-letter brands that can be a great luxury product brand, or that's a great brand. Amalo.com. I have no idea if it means something, but it's just a great brand. You can see it. It's a very attractive looking word.
It had a meaning. I thought
Bodybar.com is a good one. DeltaEnergy is probably the biggest sleeper on this list. Like, I bet you there are at least 50 companies called DeltaEnergy in various countries around the world. Delta is one of the most dominant. I've said a million times, I think Delta.com is probably one of the most valuable domains in the world. I think that CB.com and Delta.com are two of the most valuable domains in the world, because I don't know if there's any domain that would have more potential buyers that are multi-billion-dollar companies. So I think DeltaEnergy, you're talking about one of the most common brands for a company, period, and then one of the largest industries on earth. So DeltaEnergy, I would say, is a pretty good bet that there's going to be an end user at some point, and there's probably a lot of them. So I don't know. Do your own homework. I doubt there's a real trademark issue, because there's probably a lot of trademark holders for the same name.
Yeah, I agree.
DigiSafe, I think, is also a really cool brand. And I'll tell you what, one thing, digital security is not going to become a smaller topic over the coming decade. It's going to become bigger and bigger and bigger. And you're going to want your money safe. You're going to want your digital money safe. You're going to want your digital identity safe. You're going to want your digital content safe. You're going to want basically everything is digital. You're going to need to put a condom on it. So digisafe.com sounds like, digisafe.com, your digital condom. So it's maybe you're going to need digisafe.com to mess around with your AI avatar. You know what I'm saying? Like, who knows? But
Volt.
You got to be careful of those AI STDs.
I'm picturing the logo right now for digital condom.
Yeah. So I like that. And then you guys kind of talked me into Sleeps. I was like, Sleeps, what a stupid thing. But then I was thinking about like Hims. Hims is a pretty stupid brand, but they've made a pretty good go of it. So I think sleeps.com is pretty good. I think that's actually a really good brand.
Well, and then there's another energy name.
And my favorite, PacificEnergy is another one that's like another no-brainer. It's like DeltaEnergy, PacificEnergy. Both of those are 100% going to sell over the next 10 years. I just can't promise you to who or for what price, but I bet you get those for a couple of grand each. And I bet they are a 10 or 20x over a decade.
Yeah.
Or less.
And Pacific is a bigger brand than Delta, by the way.
I was just going to ask you. That's actually, so that's why I included both of these on the list. I was going to ask you guys this as a group. The other thing, there was another energy one that's on NameJet, and I don't know if maybe they were all expiring off of the same buyer or something, but it was also InternationalEnergy.com. So it was DeltaEnergy, International Energy, and Pacific.
Yeah, I mean, that's also good, but it's almost a little too generic.
Yeah. So what do you guys think? So if you had to pick out of those three, which one do you take?
Probably Pacific. But I don't know. I bet Delta and Pacific. I mean, I think they have the same upside. I don't know.
Well, I thought those were the two better ones. That's why I didn't include international on there. But but what do you guys, Josh and Braden?
So PacificEnergy, that term, there's more than twice the number of companies using PacificEnergy than DeltaEnergy.
Okay.
And
what tool are you using to look for? Is that trademarks or what is
I'm
that?
just looking at LinkedIn, which is not perfect, but I can do it in a second. Also, the term Delta versus Pacific is used 50% more than Delta. Both are like bangers, no question.
Yeah.
Tons and tons of usage. So not.
I'm going to add International Energy to the list anyway, since we talked about it. And
what do you think about onchainenergy.com?
I think that's a great domain for a Fugazi shitcoin someday.
The only reason why I bring that up is because I caught that for $59 the other day.
Yeah, that's a home run. I mean, on-chain energy, you know what I mean? Like, for sure you'll sell that for 15 grand.
You think so?
Yeah. The threshold for a shitcoin is good. You know what I mean? Like, they'll pay.
Yeah, dude.
There's an onchainenergy.org.
There you go, folks. You can go out and get some uncontested drops that are worth some money.
I say it all the time. We've talked about it on this show. I mean, I literally everybody's got all the ideas about how, okay, if you're going to enter the industry, this is what you do. But every time I get bored and I go on like the drops,
yeah, it's
just
fun, right?
What are people talking about? You can't make money in this business. Like, I mean, I just don't want to spend the time. But if I spent 1 hour every day in the drops, just buying, let's say I bought 10 names in the drops every day on GoDaddy, you're spending, I don't know, somewhere between $200 to $500 to buy 10 names. You don't need to buy that many. I guarantee that I'm 10, 20xing all of the names. Like, let's say 60 to 80% of those names will be sold within a 5-year period for 20x or more.
The problem is we're looking at, if you're good, top best 4% sell-through rate. Everybody else is like a 1% to 2% sell-through rate. So that's math that people don't do, and that's, I think, the 1%.
As if you don't do any outbound. If you do some outbound, you can triple it.
Agree.
Yeah, but people also pricing at like.
Let me finish my thought.
Sorry.
Most people, like, what they pick is just horrible. And people send me these lists. I'm like,
yeah,
why?
I know, it's very unfortunate.
It doesn't even make sense.
I know, it's very unfortunate.
People like, how come Adam's not selling my names or After Nick's not selling? It's like, look at your portfolio. Your portfolio is shit. If you have a 0.001% STR, it's because you have garbage names.
It's not that your domain is worthless.
So on that topic,
it's just worth less.
So Drew, you said like 10 to 20x, but like if you're catching these names for, let's say, like between like $20 and $60, if you're pricing it at like 10x or whatever, you're actually on
20x on the $60 purchase. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, okay, but even then, most people are pricing them at like 50 to 100x.
100x, yeah.
If you price them at like 10 to 20x, I do think the sell-through rates would increase dramatically on like these great drops. Like onchainenergy.com, like if I price that at 10x, that's probably selling in like a month. Do you know what I mean?
I agree.
But is that bad? Right? Because if you just keep doing that, you keep 10xing over and over and over and over again.
This is what we talked about in the last show. It's the velocity of money.
Right. I mean, if what's your focus? If your focus is on IRR, right, internal rate of return, if you're 10xing like every couple of months,
compound.
It's like here's an example. Grocery stores, they have like a 2% margin. Everybody's like, how do you make money on 2%? That's because they sell that shit every day. It's 2% every day, every few days.
Every second.
Right? So it's like, let's call it a month. Like, if it's 2% a month, they're making 24% a year. Right? Because it's constantly turning. It's the velocity
of money. Velocity of money, right? Baby. We literally, this was the topic of last week's show.
Like, I don't moon all my names. There's a couple names I moon, but a lot of them, like, I just put a fair price and I turn the names. And I turn that name. And so if I can 10x a name or 8x a name or even 5x a name, like, I reinvest. and then I'm going to sell it again.
Man,
So
motherfucker,
when I see,
he's preaching.
you know,
one
how
of the
many
most
times I
one of the
see
most
talked about last
successful
week.
domain investors of all time is literally did that forever, and that's Andy, right?
Yeah. I mean, I see names all the time that are priced at like $9 million. I'm like, you're never going to sell that name, right? Just lower the price of those names. I'm going to call out somebody who's a very good, successful Mike Mann. He prices his names too high. He's got 300,000 names, and you see these sales, and you're like, $35,000 for that name. That's crazy. A two-word dot, whatever. If he would lower the price, he would increase his velocity, and he would sell a lot more, and he could keep turning because he knows how to pick names. He would keep turning. I think I've been telling him for years, lower your prices, dude. You'll sell more names than So,
Oh, you know what? We've got a banger on the A team. Swan.
You are 80.
Swan.com. Technically, we still own it. It's being used by Swan Bitcoin, but they have not paid us the full price yet. So, they
just got to get that credit, man.
Big shout out to Swan, but Swan.com, that's A team. I mean, Swan is talking about Andy Booth. I got that from Andy. I think I paid $200 for Swan.
Oof.
And
I'd pay you $400 today.
Yeah, well, Swan.com, Swan Bitcoin is paying me a lot more than that.
Yeah, I'm sure.
But yeah. Anyways,
So,
we got the A team. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes we got to put in the B team. But we got the bench is deep.
Hey, Drew, did you take your ADD meds this morning? No, I don't. You didn't, right?
Nope. I'm off that.
Lost that, son. Come on, son. All right. Well, yes. Let's try to get back on track because we were having a really good conversation, and then homeboy's like, "Yo, like random animal."
I'm just scrolling through. I'm just looking at because I know we got other ones too, but I can't think of what they are.
Yeah. Well. Yeah.
Anyways,
category.
But
yes, but look,
you and I are on exactly the same page, and I highlighted this in the last show because I think it's something that most people miss. Everybody's focused on the nominal profit, the nominal, return of a domain sale, and it's. I think that's a mistake because taking, let's say, a 5x today, foregoing a 5x today in the hopes of getting your 10x over the next 5 or 10 years is not nearly as good as taking the 5x today, reinvesting that into 5 or 10 more domains, and then 10xing those or 5xing those, and then doing it again. And that ability to turn, I mean, look, it's not for everybody and it's not for every name. Some names can't be replaced, but most of the names for most of the people listening to this show can easily be replaced on any given day on GoDaddy, Dropcatch, Afternic, DNX. You can go find equivalent names at equivalent prices to what you paid, and you can replace that name. And if this is the principle, if you can replace the name you're selling, you should sell it at a profit, reinvest, and repeat.
Bro, I could talk about this forever because I do talk about it forever in our private chats. And it's like, I don't know. We all try, and like all my friends in the industry, we all want to get the best possible price for a domain, but a lot of the time it is just so stupid not to accept some of the offers that we decline, because the only time, like you said, that it makes sense to decline these offers really is at the super high end of the market where it's really, really hard to replace. Like in low to medium side, like there's opportunities.
And I would say that's
day.
super recent. That's only the last 2-3 years, maybe 4. Maybe since Braden decided he's going to spend $6.5 million buying all your fucking inventory. But before that, you couldn't even the high end names, you could still replace them.
Yeah.
Now it's very hard. But look, if your portfolio is made up of drops, like you can replace those. Like those aren't Odyssey.com. Like, I mean, every once in a while you get a banger, but for the most part, inventory quality names can be replaced. So sell it. Somebody makes you an offer, sell that name and go buy more.
That's it.
Even mid-tier now, the names that we pay like 10, 15, 20, 25 grand for today that are like low 6-figure names, there's new opportunities to buy those almost daily.
All right.
Yeah. Velocity of money, baby. Don't ignore it. It could be a really important, approach and principle for, new domainers, especially like you said, playing in the drops where replaceability of domains is easier and affordable. So at least compared to the big dogs. So, all right. Well, good
And
stuff.
I
good
had
stuff.
flyfish.com. I bought that on GoDaddy in an auction. And then those bastards pulled it back. They just, because the person who let it expire, threw a fit. And then they just took it. I paid for that shit. I got it in my account. And then they pulled it. Bastards. Flyfish would have been a good one. That's an 18.
There, you can buy fly.fish for 50 grand.
There you go. See?
I bought flyfish.com at an auction for like 25.
Was it?
Yeah. These people
right.
smoke rocks, whatever.
Moving on.
All right. Look, with that, I think we've covered a lot of ground. So we are done with NameJetGonnaJet. Thanks, guys, for for giving your insight and input on all that good stuff. For Drew to continuing to name off the list of.
Sorry, hold on. I got some final comments. This has got my house down. Okay. So, .at, you Austrian people. I have word. Okay. We had my daughter's name, Mila.at. Okay. And which we paid $10,000 for, and it was in our GoDaddy account.
Huh?
And .at registry just pulled the domain out of our GoDaddy account. No notification, no approval. I got domain transfer validation on my account. I have every lock known to man on my account. And that domain left my account without authority, without approval, without anything. It just got yanked out by the registry. And some other schmuck now owns it at Namecheap or at Easy Domain or some stupid. And I want answers. GoDaddy is not giving me sufficient answers. Shout out Paul. I know that he did put some personal effort into trying to get answers. Shout out Mark Becker for putting in the personal effort to try and get answers. But shame on you, GoDaddy, for not actually delivering me a good enough answer as to how that domain was just taken out of my account. I've been told by GoDaddy that, it's the fault of the registry. Well, I don't have a relationship with a registry. I have a relationship with my registrar where I registered the domain, where I literally just weeks before had paid to renew the domain in my account 2 weeks earlier. And then it was just whoops, yanked out of my account. And the only thing I got told was I got an email saying this domain is no longer in your account. And I'm like, well, where the hell did it go then? Because I didn't sell it. I didn't do anything with it. I didn't approve a transfer. Nobody called me to do a DTVS. How did this name leave my account? I do not have an answer to any of those questions. The domain left my account without my authority. I have a serious problem with this, and I will not give it up until I get answers. So .at, I assure you, I'm coming for your ass unless you can deliver me a damn good reason or deliver me that domain back. I'm coming for you. I'm going to make this public, and I'm going to make it really painful because I think this is atrocious that a domain would just be pulled out of my account. So anyways, I want Mila.at back. And I want answers as to how this happened. I think everybody in the domain industry would like answers as to how a domain name can just be yanked out of your account. On a final note, I would just say this is like the third time in a month that offers me a tremendous amount of good reason as to why nobody should be investing in CCTLDs, because you can get rug pulled, and people are getting rug pulled left and right. We just had a major crypto wallet get rug pulled on their dot. What was that?
.fi.
Finland. Shame on Finland. .fi domain got rug pulled, and then customers lost tens of millions of dollars because some scammer ended up with the domain and they had to move. I don't know if they learned their lesson. What'd they move to?
.finance.
Yeah, .finance. They didn't really learn their lesson, but whatever. Better than the country code. Anyways, lots of reasons not to invest in the country codes. That includes .ai, that includes .co, that includes .io, that includes country code domain name. There is only one domain name for you if you are a serious business with serious long-term plans, and that is .com. And I don't care what anybody else feels or thinks or tells you. This are facts. .com is it. That's it. Everything else is garbage.
Tell him.
And that's proven by the fact people are
Tell 'em.
desperate. So they start rug pulling and doing all this garbage and changing the rules. So anyways, .at. You better fix this because I'm really pissed off. This is fucked up. It's my daughter. Don't mess with me. This is not good. You need to give an explanation. And this domain needs to be given back to me. So anyways, that's it. That's my ramble.
This is the digital version of the movie Taken, where Drew is the Liam Neeson character.
I have
He's coming.
a unique set of skills.
He does, and he's coming for you. So, .at, buckle up, baby, buckle up. All right, well, yeah, more to follow on all that.
Just say Austria. Hey, Austria, I'm coming for you.
The entire country. You basically
Bro,
declaring
you guys are
war.
crazy people in Austria. I'm not coming for the whole country. I love you, Austria.
Yeah.
I actually do love Austria. I do. I did. Austria is an amazing country. It really is.
Shout out to Austria. Let's keep this moving though, because we're pretty much out of time, and we've now covered a ton of ground. But there's a lot of great stuff in this episode, so I'm pretty hyped up. I'm excited to get this one out the door.
They still make the G-Wagon in Austria too.
Very nice. All right, Josh, we're here in GrandClosing. That was Drew's piece and his thing. What about you?
Nothing much, man. Just spending a lot of time on DNX still. We got a bunch of cool things in the works. I think that over the next couple months, you're going to see some stuff get released that I'm testing myself at the moment. Not quite ready, but that's all I'll say on that. The last so April was kind of slow for me, but it was okay. May so far has been so bad. So if you are if you're like me and not having the best month ever, just know it's not just you. Happens to us all. Yeah. And I've actually, as of today, I've got a few deals that look like they're close to closing, but so far in May I only closed one deal from my own portfolio of like 6,000 names. So ebbs and flows, guys. Don't worry too much about it.
Don't get too discouraged. If you got good names and you're pricing them somewhat reasonably, it'll happen eventually.
Yep.
All right, cool. I like those. That's good words of wisdom, man. I like that. All right, Braden, what about you?
Thankfully, I don't have the same experience that Josh has. It's been this month. I did more this month than I did all of last year.
Braden will be putting food on his table.
Yes. Yeah. He's like, he's like, I might even dabble.
Braden's not selling any of
his.
it.
Eat fish, maybe dabbling some
I
pescatarian.
pay my mortgage this month. Yeah, this year has been stellar. I've done more this year so far than the last couple years combined. But the big swing. So that's with just a small handful of names. Several 7-figure, some mid, some high 6-figure sales. And then I've had a bunch of like low 5-figure base hits too. So it's been good, and there's more coming. There's a lot of conversations. I mean, people are talking about the economy and tariffs and all that. But I don't know. Companies are reaching out. I think Drew, you had a good quote. I think you posted on X where you said something about AI and commoditizing a digital identity. And I mean, this is the true digital identifier, is the domain name, and I think companies are recognizing that.
Yeah, I feel the same way.
I think that's right. I think people are really, truly, that for whatever reason, there is a wave of recognition. And it kind of just happened like this. It really did. I think it's all personally, I think it's all coming on the back of COVID. I think that the COVID global shutdown, the move to, Zoom instead of face-to-face meetings, the working from home, all of this, I think, has compounded to where we are, which is this recognition that we are now in basically a fully digital economy. And in a fully digital economy, your domain name is your commercial real estate, and I think the value just continues to accrue.
Yeah, I mean, we talk about this on the show. We talk about it offline. I mean, there is definitely this somewhat. It appears to be a wave of recognition. I think you also have a more sophisticated sort of founders. Second,
Oh my
founders.
God. I swear to God, I have no idea where this domain came from. I must maybe I've registered out.
Oh, sounds like a B team.
No. This should be C team. I got adamstrong.com, but you know how everybody confuses Atom, like the marketplace?
ATOM.
ADAM. No, I got ATOMstrong.com.
I think we may have talked about it on a Sherpa sometime.
I feel like, I had to have been like some registration on a Sherpa episode or something, but that's funny. I don't have any recollection of that name whatsoever, but I'm just scrolling through and I see it, Adam Strong. But like Adam,
Strong.
like the
All right. Well, anyway, so all good. We're gonna shut it down, I think, on that. That's a good note. But the point I was just making too is, we see these repeat founders. You talked about this on the Tim Ferriss show back, Drew, which is, founders who've been through it, they recognize the value of domains. It seems like almost everybody is kind of getting
when
that.
they come back for their second, third shot.
But it seems like it's even broader now. It's not even as specific as like a second, third time founder. It's almost like, almost all these entrepreneurs, all these VCs, the recognition of high, valuable domains, building the right brand to cut through a lot of the noise seems to be, very much a prevailing sort of thought. And, and we're seeing this, like you said, a wave of recognition, which I think is a cool way of saying it. So, but we shall see. So, hey, huge shout out to Braden having a killer month. Awesome, dude. Very, very excited and happy for you. Josh, don't worry. You'll get a sale soon. You at least get to see the sales that keep coming in on DNX on a somewhat regular basis. So it's like that gives you at least a feeling like
that's okay. You could just keep selling me the good names on DNX until you get a sale on that and you have money again.
Yeah. It's just the way that it goes, man.
And to Drew, man. Go ahead, Josh.
I like distributing out the names anyway. I know you guys are all in competition, but
Josh is a point guard. He found his role. He's got DNX. He's in there. He's highlighting. He's setting shit on fire, and then he's just pass to you. Pass to you.
More like a digital point guard.
He's
just like that's an AKA.
Passing the ball around the court. You know what I mean? We just out here. We're dunking. You know what I mean? Braden's in the back, threes. You got Robbie Califan. He's coming in and, might be throwing some elbows, getting some fouls under the hoop, but he's in here, you know what I mean? He's just throwing out the shots, throwing out the passes. Everybody's taking their shots.
The Califan brothers are they are stealthy and ninja-like, but they're crushing it too.
Yeah.
Rob is actually in town right now in LA.
Yeah.
Having lunch with him.
All right. Well, I think the digital point guard thing, I'm going to come up with an AKA for Josh on that because I do think that's a great little analogy. And shout out to everybody you mentioned, all good. And shout out Steve. Yeah, I got hit. No, Steve Kerr wasn't a point guard. He was a shooting guard, but he's a coach. And you're thinking Steve Nash, maybe. You think of Steve Nash?
Steve Nash, that's the name.
Yeah, I put it, he's on the list. I got, maybe Magic Joshson. You know what I'm saying? Like, Like, we're going to see what's up. I'm going to take it back to the AKA team. And then
he's a ginger. You know what I'm saying? You can't.
We're going to figure out, like, who the right, but yeah, Steve Nash is cool. I mean, he was a heck of a player, 2-time MVP. Anyway, look, we're not going to get into all that. Big shout out to all you guys. Shout out to you, Drew. Shout out to Josh. Shout out to Braden and to the audience. Shout out to all y'all. Appreciate to the 2 or 3 that are still left watching the show. Thank you so much for tuning in. I say it on every show. Without you, there is no us. We are out of time, but we've covered a ton of ground, and I think there's a lot of really great stuff here. So hopefully you all enjoy it, appreciate it. Holler at us if you've got any questions, comments you want to add to the list of B team animals. We're not hard to find, and this truly is an animal house here on Domain Sherpa, where all roads lead to domains. We'll see y'all next time. Peace out.
Is Call Hog on the B team or the C team?
What's that?
Yeah, that's the thing. Nobody from outside Rhode Island or Massachusetts even knows.
Quahog is a city, no? Is it an actual animal too?
Well, Quahog is the city in the little, what's that little cartoon?
Yeah, and
Family Guy.
Family Guy. Yeah.
But because Family Guy takes place in Rhode Island, Quahog is actually it's a clam.
Oh yeah, that's C team. C team all day. All right. Peace out, everybody. See you next time on Domain Sherpa, where all roads lead to domains. Peace.